One of the most important aspects of a healthy and balanced life is emotional maturity. Unfortunately, many people never learn how to develop this crucial skill. But what is emotional maturity exactly? How can you develop it? In this video, we'll discuss several ways that you can grow emotionally and become more mature. Hi, I'm Felipe from Mind Owl. Here we talk about how meditation, philosophy, and psychology can help you live a happier and more peaceful life. What is emotional maturity? When you think about maturity, the first thing that comes to mind is usually age. But maturity is much more than just age. It relates to one's ability to both manage and understand their emotions. There are many dimensions to it, but to put it simply, emotional maturity helps us to cope with the difficult situations that life throws at us. And as such, being emotionally mature can help you navigate the modern world and find fulfillment and happiness within it. Being emotionally mature also means that you are capable of understanding other people's point of view, even if you don't agree with them. You are aware that most of the time people are acting based on their own experiences, beliefs, and feelings, not to hurt you or to annoy you. This means that they also feel fear and may experience anxiety. They are learning to make sense of the world just like you are. That doesn't mean that you accept bad behavior from others, but it does mean that you are more likely to respond in a constructive way if someone does upset you. What is emotional immaturity? On the flip side, emotional immaturity is when someone has a tendency to express the emotion without restraint or in a way that is disproportionate to the situation. It can become difficult to determine whether or not someone is emotionally immature. After all, we all exhibit some of these signs from time to time. However, if you see a number of these behaviors happening on a regular basis, there is a good chance that the person in question is emotionally immature. Some of the most common signs of emotional immaturity are blaming others for your problems, refusing to take responsibility, and being unable to listen to others' perspectives. These individuals who lack emotional maturity often struggle with self-reflection and they lack empathy for others. They may also exhibit crying, yelling, and throwing fits as a way of dealing with anger or frustration. How to develop emotional maturity? Now that we've discussed what emotional maturity is and how it differs from emotional immaturity, let's talk about how you can develop it. Developing emotional maturity is a journey that takes time and effort. However, it's possible to make progress by working on these three following areas. Becoming more self-aware. This is the first and arguably the most important step in emotional maturity. How can you manage your emotions if you're not even aware of them? So start by paying attention to your thoughts and feelings. What triggers certain emotions? How do you react when you're feeling angry, sad, or happy? The more self-aware you are, the better equipped you'll be to manage your emotions. Learning how to regulate emotions. Once you become more aware of your emotions, you can start to regulate them. This means learning how to control your emotional reactions and respond in a more constructive way. One way to practice this is through mindfulness. This involves paying attention to the present moment and accepting your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Most emotions have a duration of just 90 seconds, so if you can ride out the initial wave of emotion, it will start to dissipate on its own. Developing empathy for others. The final step in developing emotional maturity is developing empathy for others. This means trying to see things from other people's perspectives and understanding how they're feeling. When you're able to do this, it becomes much easier to resolve conflicts and build relationships. And one of the best ways to develop empathy is to practice active listening. This involves really paying attention to what the other person is saying and reflecting back on what you've just heard. This will go against our natural instinct to start planning our response while the other person is still talking. However, it's crucial to truly understand how someone else is feeling, how to test your emotional maturity. From time to time, it's a good idea to check in with yourself and see how you are progressing on your journey to emotional maturity. This is why it's important to have some sort of emotional maturity test that you can refer to. So here are some questions that you can ask yourself from time to time. How easily do I get offended? Do you find yourself getting offended by what other people say or do? Are you able to take constructive criticism without getting defensive? So taking things personally is a common sign of emotional immaturity. An emotionally mature person understands that not everything is about them, but rather that other people are just going about their lives and they are dealing with their own issues. How often do I overreact? Do you find yourself crying, yelling, throwing fits when something doesn't go your way? Or are you able to keep a level head and act in a constructive way? Overreacting is another common sign of emotional immaturity. The emotionally mature person understands that getting upset will not change the situation, and that's better to remain calm and think things through. Who or what am I most likely to blame for my problems? Do you find yourself blaming others for your problems? Are you able to take responsibility for your own actions and learn from your mistakes? Blaming others is a sign of emotional immaturity because it means you are not taking responsibility for your own life. An emotionally mature person understands that they are in control of their own lives and that they need to take responsibility for their well-being. How good am I at expressing my emotions? Do you have difficulty expressing your emotions? Are you able to express them in a healthy and constructive way? The ability to express emotions in a healthy way is an important part of emotional maturity. The emotionally mature person understands that it's okay to feel all emotions, including anger, sadness, and fear. They also understand that it's important to express these emotions in a way that doesn't hurt themselves or others. After answering these questions, you should have a good idea of where you stand in terms of emotional maturity. It is very likely that you'll find areas in which you need to improve. But that's okay. It's good to realize that we all have room for growth. The most important thing is that you are aware of your own emotional maturity level and you're working to improve it. Just be aware of the signs of emotional immaturity and work on exploring the underlying causes each time they pop up. Unfortunately, learning how to be emotionally mature is not something that we learn in school. It's something that we have to seek out and work on our own. However, it's well worth the effort, as emotional maturity is key to a healthy and balanced life. With a higher level of emotional maturity, we are better able to deal with the ups and downs of life, relate to others in a more constructive way, and take responsibility for our own happiness. So if you are looking to improve your life in a meaningful way, start working on your emotional maturity. It's never late to start maturing. I would love to hear your thoughts on emotional maturity. How would you define it? How important do you think it is in a balanced life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.